Hey y'all, how's it going? This is my pump action 12 gauge Mossberg 500, and I recently acquired this new firearm. Came with the heat shield, and I made a sling for it, which holds 4, and you can put nice pressure against it, push against it to help mitigate that recoil. Now, I got a tactical forend on this, and I've been seeing a lot of videos where they have to do a complete disassembly. Just, it's clear, nothing in there. And that is not the case. Now, what you are going to want to do is get that about half cocked and unscrew the barrel. And you want to half cock it because if you full cock it, you're not going to be able to get past the taper right there. Now this is where most people will pop the pin out and take out the trigger assembly, but I have this pistol grip on here, and when I tried to do it I couldn't, but then I realized all I had to do, and I pre-unthreaded this earlier, was just take this bad boy off and then slide this off of the action slide assembly and slide this on. And thread this back on nice and tight. And now I have a tactical forend on here. I'm back screwing it just so I can avoid cross threading it. So, oh, there we go, good thread. Murphy's Law of filming. Usually there's a tool for this, but I was able to undo it by hand because this is a well lubricated firearm. I'm going to want to do it as hand tight as possible. Get some nail action in there. Yep, almost ripped my nails out, but got some strong bones. Put this aside. Now the whole reason that I even wanted to do this in the first place, I'm going to put the barrel back on, was because, well, it's a pistol grip pump. It kicks like a mother. And I wanted to have some options to be able to manage that recoil of the pistol grip. And one of these options that presented itself to me was this thing. I think that's going to fit pretty nicely on there. Wouldn't you say so? Alrighty. So let's get down to business on this thing. Now I know pistol grip pump action shotguns are not the most practical in the world. I used to have a Mossberg 500 with a stock on it. It had an 18-inch barrel, and you could hold 7 in the tube and 1 in the chamber, although I usually like to keep mine cruiser ready, which is you just keep a fully loaded magazine tube, and then you don't keep one in the chamber, so that way when you rack it, you give any would-be assailant an opportunity to change their minds, because I think that everyone has the capacity to change. And this seems like it's a little bit wide, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I got it off Amazon for next to nothing, so it's basically a toy. Wanted to see how it did out in the range and all of that, but it does seem to like it would help with shooting from the hip, as that is what most people with pistol grip shotguns do. Plus it just looks pretty badass. I mean, it's called tactical, not practical. It's all just for hypothetical scenarios that more than likely no person is ever going to get into in real life. It's just an excuse to have some cool shit. I mean, zombie apocalypse or not, you know, I think that whole plan is falling by the wayside. FEMA camps are, you know, put on the back burner at the moment. That's why that wasn't going in. Oh, great. I really hope this thing fits. It's a CAA grip. It said it was basically universal. Editing is probably going to have to go down for this. Mossberg did produce a chainsaw shotgun, but I kind of missed the boat on that one. And I'm not even sure it was 100% legal in my native state of California. The last pistol grip pump I had was an heirloom from a former detective, and I bought it from his niece. She was going through some financial troubles. Alright, so that looks pretty good to me. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. Superbly ridiculous. Alright, now, the thing about shooting from the hip is that you can't really aim. So, one solution that it came up with for that was a tactical light that spots or wides, but I prefer the spot. It's actually a little square spot, but I think that'll be just fine. I mean, why put a laser on a shotgun? It just blows my mind every time I see someone put a red dot on a shotgun. Like, you know that you're gonna have a pattern on there. Even if you shoot a slug, I highly doubt that it's gonna hit like exactly where the laser light is. Not to mention shooting slugs inside of your house, which is the #1 place one would expect to be using a home defense shotgun. Doesn't seem like the safest thing. you know, it could go through the wall, it could even split after hitting something in the wall, like a stud or a screw or a nail, something ridiculous. You're going to want something that's going to have a wide pattern and, you know, just make an impression. Birdshot at close range is usually pretty good. That's what I get for talking shit. I mean, even double-aught buck, but still, I highly doubt that even in close quarters, like, you're gonna get that much of a pattern. Now, this was a cheap flashlight that I bought off of Amazon, so I was glad that it came with the rail mount, because most people's didn't. And mine did, but looks like there's a slight reason for it not coming with it, and that's because the rail mount wasn't designed for this specific flashlight. But I mean, at under $30, like, the next best optic was, or not, the next best light was frickin' 3 times that amount, $100 for a good one. And I spent $300 on this gun, so, you know, it's a toy, like I said. Alrighty, let's see what kind of pattern we're getting here. Guess I can always reorient that when I get to it. Alright, I'm feeling I'm gonna have to completely take this out. Alright, now I'm thinking mounting behind, right underneath, in front, one of these things. I mean, I'll be able to move it around basically at will, but I think I might put it at the slot directly in front. Now, I didn't even fit this, mind you. I was just trying to assemble this in a timely manner. I may adjust it, you know, to suit the feel, but I just wanted to give an idea of how this would work. I'm gonna have to, I got some black gaffer's tape, so I'm probably just gonna pop that here wherever one of these sides is the actual press side. Oh, it's this one. So I'm gonna wanna mount that somewhere like that, possibly, or maybe even underneath. Oh yeah, there we go, like that. That is ridiculous. Now that feels pretty comfortable, but I actually might bring it back a little bit. The rack seems a bit far, and it's not really holding the weight the way I would want it to, but this configuration is not bad with, you know, holding that underneath and with the light on there. Like, I'm fairly certain that that spotlight is gonna show where my target is in a dark room should I have to draw this on someone who's trespassing into my property. Thanks for watching, and you know, practice safe and responsible gun ownership.